Beijing Consensus, idea of Joshua Cooper Remo, Chinese model of economic development based upon the policies of Deng Xiaoping since 1976. That is Beijing Consensus, an alternative to the Washington Consensus, also called as anti-Washington Consensus view for the growth of developing countries. Anti-Washington Consensus view for the growth of developing countries, Beijing Consensus, based upon the three main pillars: constant experimentation and innovation, peaceful distributive growth with gradual reforms, self-determination and inclusion of selective foreign ideas. That is foreign ideas inclusion with a that is also in a selected manner, and also distributive growth with a gradual reforms, not at a time transition, and constant experimentation and innovation, and higher attention. As Great Recession hit the Western economies, China grew double digits. So there lies the thinking about the China Beijing Consensus. This Beijing Consensus in 1976, based on the policies of Deng Xiaoping in 1976. So China grew double digits, became the role model for the world. Things which worked for China may not work for others due to the heterogeneous issues. Chinese rise was declared as a death of market and rise of state-led growth. Till 2010, it was Chinese growth took a downturn. Till 2010, it was Chinese growth took a downturn in recent times. Experts have advised double caution is in blindly following this model. Some experts believe that rising protectionism across the world, especially USA and UK and other places, has been caused by an inclination towards this model only. Santiago, that is, some experts believe that rising protectionism across the world, especially USA, UK, other places, has caused by an inclination towards this model, because Chinese allowed the three pillars. What are the Chinese Beijing Consensus three pillars? Constant experimentation and innovation, and also selective foreign ideas intervention, and also peaceful distribution and gradual reforms. So, Chinese rise was declared as a death of market and rise of state-led growth. And there comes the Santiago Consensus, the alternative to the Washington Consensus. What is Santiago Consensus? Alternative to Washington Consensus by the World Bank President James Wolfenson in Santiago for developing countries. The core idea of this model is inclusion, which should not be only economic but social inclusion too, economic inclusion as well as social inclusion too. This way, it is socio-economic development model that is bound to have its local characteristics. Idea of inclusive growth, that is inclusive social growth, a socio-economic development model with local characteristics. India adopted it in 2002. Capitalism as a tool of growth promotion. Capitalism as a tool of growth promotion. Despite failure during the Great Depression, but it kept coming in various countries. Washington Consensus post 1985, and also the second after the official acceptance of globalization, WTO post 1995. On the other side, many experts believed subprime crisis was nothing but an overestimation of capitalist tendencies. Capitalism has put the world to disaster twice. Capitalism promotes growth. It has been widely discussed that despite the negative impacts of capitalism promotes growth, despite the negative impacts, the capitalism promotes growth. Various countries still rely upon the capitalism. India's pro-capitalist budget of 2015-16 to revive growth in the system, now widely acknowledged as a tool of promoting growth and income. The difference between the pro-business and pro-crony policy. Pro-business firms compete on a pro-business policy is nothing but firms compete on a level playing field. Resource allocation in the economy is efficient. Citizens' welfare is maximized. But what is pro-crony? Some incumbent firms may receive the preferential treatment. Resource allocation in the economy may not be efficient. Citizens' welfare may not be maximized. Crony capitalism, we call it as. That is, pro-business means nothing but efficiency is maintained and also citizens' welfare maximized. Resource allocation also according to the economy it is done. But pro-crony, that is government in favor of incumbent treatment, that is incumbent firms. Some incumbent firms may receive the preferential treatment. Resource allocation may be not efficient. Citizens' welfare may not be maximized because of this. And pro-crony or crony capitalism can also lead to monopoly. What is the idea of national income? Income is the most common tool of economic prosperity. Income is the most common tool of economic prosperity. Income is the most common tool of economic prosperity. Human Development Index also take into account the idea of income. Income is the most common tool of economic prosperity. Human Development Index also take into account the idea of income as an important phenomenon of development. If you look at the calculation of the income, gross domestic product, net domestic product, gross national product, and net domestic product, GDP, NDP, GNP, and NNP are the things. So Simon Kuznets developed this concept of GDP in 1964. GDP is the value of all the final goods and services produced within the boundary of a nation during one period. GDP is usually calculated on an annual basis. It can also be calculated on quarterly basis as well. The GDP is a monetary value of all the finished goods and services made within the country during a specific period of time. GDP provides an economy snapshot of the country used to estimate the size of an economy and growth rate. GDP can be calculated in three ways using the expenditure, production, and income. It can be adjusted for inflation and population to provide deeper insights. Though it has limitations, GDP is a key tool to guide the policy makers, investors, and strategic business firms in taking strategic decision making. GDP quantitative aspect, a quantitative aspect but not a qualitative aspect. Use it to gauge the internal strength of the economy. Use it to gauge the internal strength of an economy. IMF ranks countries according to their PPP. IMF ranking. India's GDP is today's third largest in the world PPP after China and USA. While at the prevailing exchange rate of a rupee into US dollars, India's GDP is ranked sixth largest in the world. GDP per capita PPP in India is expected to reach nearly 7,200 USD by the end of per capita in PPP terms, nearly 7,200 USD by the end of 2020. So India to become the fifth largest economy in 2025, third largest by 2030. If you look at the PPP terms, third, right? GDP includes the value of only final goods and services, only the value added by the production process, goods and services which are produced in the current period, production of agriculture, forestry, and fishing which are used for own consumption of producers, production of agriculture, forestry, and fishing which are used for own consumption of producers. GDP is equals to C plus I plus G plus X minus M, that is consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus exports minus imports or net exports. It excludes the intermediate goods used to produce the other goods, example producer goods, non-economic activities, service of family members that are done out of the love and affection. It excludes that. Market transactions such as exchange of goods which already exist or are previously produced, that is second-hand goods. It does not take into account the second-hand goods. Transfer payments, pensions, scholarships, unemployment, and trial allowances like transfer payments, pensions, scholarships, unemployment allowances. It does not exclude that. Financial transactions, unreported output generated through illegal transactions or binary transactions, black money, such are narcotics, gambling, also known as bats, as opposed to goods which the GDP accounts for. GDP is equals to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Net domestic product, NDP is equals to GDP minus depreciation, wear and tear, depreciation of assets, currencies, and taken into account. Depreciation of assets and currencies are taken into account. NDP will always be lower than the GDP in India because it is not used in comparison across this NDP is not used for comparison across the world due to the different rates of depreciation. GNP, gross national product. GNP is equals to GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad. Net factor income from abroad like private remittances, positive for India. Interest rates on loans, negative. Net borrower, and because India is a net borrower, interest rates on loans is negative, and grants, it is positive for India. So use of GNP, exhaustive concept. It includes both qualitative and quantitative. It helps to us to study the economic might of the country. NNP is GNP minus depreciation. It is the national income of an economy. It gives us the purest numbers of the economy. Per capita income is equals to NNP by population. Cost and price of national income. Cost and price of national income. Cost and price is an important factor in national income. Cost and prices are an important factor in national income. Factor cost and market cost. Factor cost measures the factors for production involved. Factor cost measures the factors of production. That is factor cost, production Factor cost measures the factors of production involved. Input cost like cost of capital, interest on loans, raw materials, labor, rent and power. Market cost, indirect taxes, that is final prices at showroom. Factor cost plus indirect taxes, central plus state is equals to market cost. Factor cost plus indirect taxes, both central and state is equals to market cost. So indirect taxes is there, the final prices at the showrooms. India used to calculate its national income at factor cost previously, but now the national income, since 2015, CSO, Central Statistical Organization, has switched over to the calculating its market cost. Developed world also uses this phenomenon. Income calculation at two prices, constant and current. The difference is the impact of inflation. National income calculation, the base year in India has been revised from 2005 to 2011 to 12 in January 2015 by Central Statistical Organization. National income calculation, India calculates its national income at constant prices, that is like other developing countries. Unlike the other developing countries at current prices, India calculates its national income at constant prices. Developed nations calculate it at current prices. For statistical purposes, the CSO also releases the national income data at current prices also. Types of income: nominal income, real income and disposable income. Nominal income is nothing but it is there with inflation. Real income is adjusted with inflation. Disposable income after taxes. As per the new guidelines, the base year in India has been revised from 2011 to 12. Headline growth will now be measured. Headline growth rate will now be measured by GDP at constant market price. That is constant GDP at a constant market prices, which will henceforth be referred to as GDP as practice internationally. That is, actual GDP is nothing but GDP at market price at constant price. Internationally, earlier growth rate was measured in terms of growth rate in GDP at factor cost at constant prices. GDP was measured in terms of the growth rate in GDP at a factor cost at constant prices, but now it is GDP at market cost at constant prices. GDP is calculated at market price at constant prices. As per and sector-based estimates of gross value added (GVA) will now be given at the basic prices, tax-adjusted prices. Comparing GVA and GDP, economic growth is estimated on the demand side and supply side. Under the supply side, value added by the various sectors in the economy, that is agriculture, industry and services, are added up to derive the gross value added. This way, it captures the income generated by all economic actors across the country. This way, it is captures the income generated by all economic actors across the country. Under the demand side, GDP is arrived by all expenditures done in the economy. There are four sources of expenditures in an economy: private consumption, individuals and households, government, business enterprises, and net exports. Exports minus imports. That is private consumption, investment, government enterprises, investment, government expenditure, and net exports. It includes all the taxes received and all subsidies disbursed by the government. It includes all the taxes received and subsidies disbursed by the government. Thus, GDP is equal to GVA added with net taxes. GDP is equal to GVA plus net taxes, that is taxes minus subsidies. While GDP is a good measure to comparative to studies comparing economies, GVA is better measure to compare different sectors within the economy. GVA is more important when looking at quarterly growth data because quarterly GDP is arrived at appropriating the observed GVA data in different spender categories. There are four sources of expenditure in an economy: private consumption, government, business enterprises, net exports. It includes all the taxes received and all subsidies disbursed by the government. GDP is equals to GVA plus net taxes minus subsidies. With regard to the agrarian economy,